What's going on, guys? We're going to go ahead and jump right into it. FSU dominates LSU 45 to 24. And just FYI, if you have kids and you are watching this, I am going to curse. Um, just a subtle reminder there. Um, it's not made for children. Um, but yeah, so final score 45-24. And LSU was just abysmal all night. Second half was a complete shit show. You get outscored 31-0. After you get the field goal to end the half, like I said, you get outscored 31-0. You get two cheesy touchdowns there at the end by both teams to kind of pad stats. It was just fucking disappointing. This is the fourth fucking year in a row LSU has done this. You get, the Mississippi State game in 2020 where you get blown out by a terrible Mississippi State team. 2021, you go to UCLA and get blown out by a shitty UCLA team. And then last year, you lose to FSU, who you thought was shitty at the time. Turns out they're pretty damn good. And then this year, they just kicked your ass up and down the field. Like I said, in the first half, you really thought, honestly, I really thought LSU was a better team. But boy, was I fucking wrong. They were just, it was just an abysmal second half. What LSU used to do to non-conference teams is exactly what FSU did. Just beat them up, broke them down, and just made them quit. It was embarrassing. The LSU fans as a whole are probably all feeling the same way. It was just an embarrassing way to go into a season for the fourth straight year and just get fucking embarrassed, run off the fucking field by a team that probably is better than you. Well, there's no doubt they're fucking better than you now. Probably better than you, but not much better than you. Not damn sure not 21 points better than you. That was just an absolute shit show. You got out coached. I went into this kind of comparing and contrasting different units for each team. Florida State's better than LSU at everything. Every fucking thing you can think of: special teams, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, defense, defensive line, offensive line. They're fucking better. They're better. They were better at everything tonight. At least I don't know if the long run they'll be better, but they were better tonight. All off season, for the last 3 or 4 years, you hear about how great LSU's wide receivers are, and Malik Neighbors is great. But the other two were terrible tonight. Critical drops on third downs. Granted, Florida State had drops as well, but they weren't in crucial situations. They were on first, second down. You have two humongous plays that you don't make. You have a third and long, hits Kyron Lacey. His third drop of the game, by the way, would have converted a first down and picks up humongous yardage. And then you have the play at the end of the third quarter, Brian Thomas, about a 50-yard deep ball down the little bit underthrown, but hit him right in his hands, dropped it. And that's a huge turning point because you don't score after that. You're kind of in the game at that point. And like I said, the defense was fucking abysmal. 31 straight points. What was it? Last six drives of the game, you go touchdown, field goal, touchdown, 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 touchdown. I don't know if that was 6, but it was 4 touchdowns, a field goal, and another touchdown. Like I said, just abysmal effort. The DBs are worse than we thought they were going to be. They were terrible. It looked like men against boys. I get it. Florida State's wide receivers are freaking great. They're good. Keon Coleman's a stud. Was a stud at Michigan State. He's going to be a stud for Florida State. Johnny Wilson, same thing. A big-bodied guy. Great hands. But they had their fair share of issues too. With drops as well. But when you can just throw the ball up and just say, hey, my guy's better than your guy, and it's not even close. The worst thing about it's not even blown coverages and stuff like that. It's just you got little babied, and you just got treated like the little brother out on the playground. Keon Coleman, they just throw the ball up to him. Guys are in position and just piss down their leg. And give up huge plays through the air. They kind of just got whatever they really wanted on defense or on offense. The second half, But like I said, man, LSU in the first half, like I said, had a lot of positives to go off of. You have the huge first drive where you get shit on in the inside the one. You have 4 plays you can't score. You end up losing 10 yards on 4th and goal, and you end up having to get 0 points out of that one. They go right down, score, and you're thinking that's a 14-point swing, which it was. But then you get the ball back, man, and you go right down the field and score as well. A huge answer there, and then you get a stop. One of the very few fucking stops of the night. But you finally got one. Came early in the game. Momentum was there. You go right down the field again, get inside the 20, and you're at least coming away with 3. You get to 4th and 1 again, and you get absolutely shit on one more time. Jane Daniels, the one mistake I thought he made tonight, he didn't make the right read. He should have gave the ball off to Josh Williams. He ended up keeping it, losing about 4 yards. So you miss out on points on that one as well. But then you get another fucking stop. Miracles do happen. This team got 2 stops in a row. You go down and score. You score a touchdown, and it's 14-7. And I'm really thinking to myself at this point, like the idiot I am, feeding into that rat poison that I was fed all offseason about how good this team was. I truly believed at that point they were the better team. I said we had every fucking chance. They had every chance to. They should be up, more scores. And with all the adversity they had overcome already with the missed opportunities, they were up 14-7, and kind of like FSU had no answers for their offense, kind of. And then, like you said, you have the humongous pass play to Keon Coleman. He mosses Deuce Chestnut in the end zone for a touchdown. Kid had 3 touchdowns on the night. He's an absolute star. Jordan Travis is a star. One of my keys to the game tonight was getting off of the field on 3rd down, and LSU didn't even fucking come close to doing anything remotely close to that. Like I said, it was an absolute abysmal defensive performance. I don't have the numbers in front of me. Let's see where they were on 3rd downs. 9 for 14, so almost a exact fucking mimic of last year, where you shit the bed every 3rd down last year. Jordan Travis scrambles, or he just runs around, and then boom, some wide receivers fucking wide open down the field, and boom, 1st down just like that. You get, like I said, they go down, tie the game up at 14. You're not feeling great at this moment. You have the muffed punt. Here I was, my dumb ass sitting here on the first punt. Gregory Clayton goes back there and falls over catching the punt. And I'm like, why in the hell is he returning punts? I heard all offseason about how good Aaron Anderson is. Why I haven't seen him. Well, I found out fucking why. Because he was in on the next series and he muffed the very first fucking punt he touched. And at that point in time, you were thinking, holy shit, here we fucking go again. Ain't this some shit, some 2022? Did we even have last season? Was last season even a thing, or am I just watching a replay? Because it felt exactly the same. The game flow in the first half, other than you not scoring any points, FSU's game plan kind of was the same thing, man. It was we get that 3rd down, and Jordan Travis is just going to get us a 1st down. He's going to find a way to get us a 1st down. So you muff the fucking punt, and then you get a pick on the first play. So you're thinking at this point, you're like, holy shit, the gods are on our side. This is the time, that we got to capitalize on this thing, man. And they didn't. They pissed on the leg. They didn't score. And then, so you go down. You get the field goal at the end of the half. Like I said, you make it 17-14 at halftime, and you're feeling really good. You played a shitty fucking first half, and you have a 3-point lead. They had some drops in the first half, but you pissed away 2 possessions inside the 20 and didn't come away with any points. So going off of that regards, like I said, the offense really hadn't been stopped all night. And then the fucking shit show began. As soon as they kicked the ball off for the second half, Florida State goes right down, kicks a field goal, and you're feeling good. It's still tied. Still tied there. And then that's when, like I said, the shit show began. Jane Daniels leading the team down, going down Driving the ball, you get within, I think it was like the 35 range, maybe. No. They were about midfield because they would have kicked the field goal. They were about midfield. Jane Daniels scrambles, creates more time, and hits Kyron Lacey dead in the fucking hands. Dead in the fucking hands. He drops it on third down. Boom. You punt. And here's gonna be the theme of the second half. They take the ball. Your boy gets mossed again. Humongous play. I think it was like a 40-yard play. You have Jordan Travis. Greg Brooks blows up the play in the backfield. Jordan Travis just he tackles the running back. Jordan Travis just pulls it. He scrambles for a touchdown. So now you're down 24-17. Still not worst thing in the world. Like I said, the offense has been moving the ball. You're feeling good. And then you have the drive right before the end of the third quarter, right? You're moving the ball again. You kind of catch him napping there at the end of the third quarter. Last play of the third quarter, Jane Daniels throws a beautiful ball down the sideline, slightly underthrown, but hits Brian Thomas dead in the fucking hands. Goes right through it, and you drop that one, and then you end up having to punt again. Or no. After that play, very next fucking play to open up the fourth quarter is the pick. Keon Coleman goes down, mosses the fuck out of somebody's child again. And boom, just like that, it's a two-possession game, and you're feeling like absolute dog shit right now. Your offense hasn't done a fucking thing but piss down their leg the whole second half. And Florida State hasn't even shown the signs of having to use any effort on offense to get first downs, let alone touchdowns. Did whatever the hell they wanted. I'm not really sure what happened the next drive, but at this point, the game was fucking over. You have your offense didn't do a damn thing in the second half. To no fault of Jane Daniels. Like I said, he was the lone bright spot in this game. You have Bell runs it in, makes it 38-17, and you're down 21 with 7 minutes to go, and the game's fucking over just like that. And you officially got curb stomped by an ACC school in another season opener, and you start the season 0-1 just like you've done the last 4 fucking seasons. Now, that being said, that's your breakdown of the game if you're even still watching. I had this team going 9-3. I didn't think they were going to win tonight. I thought that Florida State was the better team. I just didn't believe in LSU's defense, and all of my worst fears came to fruition and more because they were fucking even worse than I thought they were going to be. The secondary was terrible. Zach Alexander was pretty good tonight, but Deuce Chestnut, the safeties were fucking awful. Just like I said, guys wide open, running around on third downs, just playing backyard football. Guys just sitting in the middle of zones, in between 4 guys, just watching them catch the fucking ball. Shit like that. It was just an absolute shit show. I was telling you guys about my keys to the game was getting Florida State off the field on third down, and they didn't do that. Not a fucking lick. You have 6 straight scoring drives. At some point, you got to look at coaching. Florida State made tremendous adjustments at halftime. Whatever they did in there obviously worked. Whatever you did at halftime absolutely fell flat on its fucking face. Matt House, I'd have to rewatch the game and kind of focus more on it. A lot of you guys questioned the Harold Perkins stuff, moving to linebacker. Or moving to inside linebacker. But it was one of those things when they brought him off the edge, man, Florida State just did a good job of picking him up. He's an elite pass rusher. They kind of designed plays away from him. They had guys chip block him. They just forced him to take wide angles where Jordan Travis could just step up and kind of maneuver his way around. They used him as a spy a lot, which I didn't mind because Jordan Travis was killing you with his legs in the first half. On the couple conversions they had, and that shit kind of stopped. But then they were just giving up fucking passing yards after that. Jordan Travis threw for 342, 4 tutties. and he had the one pick. Jane Daniels threw for 347 though. Like I said, solid night from him. Uh, Florida State was able to just do whatever the hell they wanted. The defensive line for LSU wasn't bad. They weren't great. They made plays. Mekhi Wingo was outstanding tonight. You have 5 tackles from Harold Perkins tonight. Not quite the performance you were expecting from your star player in his sophomore campaign debut. But you know what? Shit happens. Guys are going to game plan for him now. They game plan for him last year and he still made plays. So we'll have to see what they do with him in the future. More of the story tonight, though, man, was Florida State was just a better fucking football team, man. They did what LSU used to do in these non-conference games, and that was just mentally break you, and just kind of physically dominate the football game. And it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been able to say this with a straight face, and not just out of anger, where LSU was just fucking dominated, man. Even the Tennessee game last year, it was just a bunch of fuck-ups from LSU last year in the Tennessee game that just put you in such a hole where you had no way of climbing out. This game, you just got fucking rammed, man. You got fucking rammed by Florida State in the second half. And they showed every bit of why they could go and compete and win a national championship. That team's ultimately talented. They're good in every phase of the game. Whether that leads to them making the playoffs or winning the ACC or whatever happens from there, they damn sure proved that they're better than fucking LSU. Beating their ass twice, 2 times, now back-to-back years. Last year, not having much expectations, and coming into a hostile environment in New Orleans and winning. And then this year, just absolutely just beating down this overhyped, overrated LSU team. It was just abysmal, man. And I'm not gonna harp on it much longer, but because you guys watched the game, you guys know all you can hope for at this point is they can put this one behind them. It was a fucking shitter. I'm glad they fucking ran up the score, and scored those bullshit fucking touchdowns there at the end. Because they needed to fucking suffer. They needed to watch that shit and remember this fucking feeling and how bad it feels, to get your fucking ass handed to you. Because you went in, you talked your fucking shit all offseason about how good this fucking team was. Man, they overrated you like a motherfucker because all the preseason hype. The offense, returning all these guys, and then your offense ends up shitting the fucking bed in the second half. Jane Daniels was great, but this offense is a fucking unit. Jane Daniels is just one player, and as we've seen on the weekend, one player is not gonna fucking win you the games. It doesn't matter how good that one player is. It is a collective effort, and the offensive line didn't live up to the fucking hype that they wanted. That's going to fucking change. That offensive line is super talented. They just went up against a force they weren't ready for tonight again. That Florida State defensive line was tremendous. They got pressured on Jaden all night. They fucking damn sure stuffed the run every chance they got. Couldn't do anything running back wise. And they were able to guard enough, And that's all I was asking out of LSU was just to make some plays. You didn't have to go out there and be goddamn Patrick Peterson. I just needed you to be fucking Jared Bernard Converse and make a fucking play every now and then, to where they couldn't fucking score 6 straight fucking possessions. But obviously that was too much to ask for, because Florida State fucking dominated you the entire game. And like I said, that's all I got. Hopefully this team can move forward. They got Grambling next week. Should be an easy win. And then you go to Mississippi State. We'll see how that fucking goes. This team lost the game. They've lost this game 4 years in a row. So it's nothing that they can't fucking overcome. They won the SEC West last year after getting shit on. Who's to say they can't do the same shit? So I'm not giving up on them in the long run. But it definitely fucking sucks to continuously get your ass beat in the first game. They play USC next year. I'm sure that'll be another ass cutting, in a neutral site game there in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, I plan on going to that game, so I'll get to see it in person this time, instead of from my TV screen. I'll actually waste money to go watch them get shit on next year. But yeah, man, that's all I got for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, Uh, I don't care. Make sure if you did though, make sure you hit the subscribe button, check us out, man. We're gonna be here all season, good or bad. We're gonna be breaking it down, seeing what happens, man, with the LSU Tigers, man. Y'all have a blessed rest of y'all's day. Hope you guys had a great holiday weekend, and college football is back, baby.